Hi guys, it's Min and welcome back to Korean class. 안녕. Hi guys, it's Min and this is the third chapter of the series Learn Korean with Min. In the first two chapters, we have talked about how to read and write Hangul and some sentence structures to greet and the basic concept of politeness levels. And in this chapter, we'll finally start to talk about the actual sentences, and the first step is the verb 이다, which works like the verb to be in English. At the end of the session, you'd be able to introduce your name, your nationality, and your job. There'll be a lot of things to take in this chapter, so don't forget to take notes and do not hesitate to stop the video or rewind the video a couple of times to make sure that you understand everything clearly. So if you're ready, let's get started. Yes, so we're gonna start, and here I brought the basic sentence structure that we're gonna see, which is A, 은 or 는, B, 이다, which means A is B. So we're first going to see how to put the subject, which takes A part in this sentence. So I put 3 politeness for each term. You're gonna see the table right here. But formal and polite form always share the same subject form, so you can say that there are only 2 terms for each. We're going to read them together. The first word is I, so when you talk about yourself, like myself, which it is 저 or 나. So 저 is either formal or polite way of speaking, and 나 is used when you talk casually, informally. So 저 or 나. When you address someone else, you can say you, and that's 당신 or 너 here. We do use 너 for informal sentences, but 당신 is barely used, especially in speaking. So if you know their name or their professional title, it's always better to avoid using 당신, but call them with their own name or their title. For further information, you can check in this video right here that I explained about this term 당신 properly. This rule is same for he, she, and they. We don't really have a word for he or she. I mean, if you search this word on dictionary, you'd get 그, 그녀, or 그들. I mean, they do exist, but it's used only in very literary context, especially to translate the other languages to Korean, but not in a natural conversation, so we don't really use this word as much. So same for he, she, they. It's always better to find their name, professional title, position, or job, whatever, to address them rather than this word. The third form is you in plural. So when you address more than 2 people at the same time, like you guys, you all in English, you get to say 여러분 for formal, polite situation, and 너희 for informally speaking. So once again, 여러분 and 너희. The last form is we, so plural people include myself. Here we say 저희 for formal polite speaking. 저희 is plural form of 저, which was I. And you could also use 우리 for informal speaking. So again, 저희 and 우리. This chart might look a little bit complicated, but actually you just have to remember 7 words that I highlighted. So we're gonna repeat it once again. 저, 나, 너, and 여러분, and 너희, lastly, 저희, and 우리. 좋아요. The second part is what we call subjective postposition or subject marker particle. So it's a grammatical unit that shows this is the subject of the sentence. So when I say I am Min, I is the subject. Or when you say Min is a teacher, Min is a subject. And it's called postposition, so it comes after the subject. We've got 2 forms here. One is 은, which follows the word and with a final consonant sound. And the other form is 는, and that follows vowel endings. So the word without any final consonant sound. So yeah, example, when you say Min is a teacher, Min is a subject, and this letter Min has a consonant ending ni은. So you're gonna say 민은, and then you can continue say teacher and the verb 선생님입니다. Another example, when you say Luke is a student, and then Luke, this name, doesn't have a final consonant at the last syllable, but it ends with a vowel. So in this case, you're gonna say 루크는, and then 학생입니다. Same rule goes for those subject words that we have seen in the first part. So when you talk about yourself, you can either say 저는 or 나는, if it's in formal sentence, or same for the other tenses. So we're gonna read it all together, but this time we'll put the markers and the subject together. So let's read 저는 or 나는 for I. And when you're gonna say you, it'd be 너는. For you guys, you all, you in plural, you're gonna say 여러분은 or 너희는. The last part, we have to say 저희는 or 우리는. Okay, now we're gonna bring back the sentence that we were going to make. A is B, A는 B이다. We saw how to make the subject part, and now we're going to fill the blank B, the component part. So when you want to talk about your name, you can simply put it in the place of B. So I'm gonna say 저는, which means I, and 민, that's my name, and 입니다 at the end. So 입니다 is the verb part that we're gonna see at the last part. So if it's your name, you can just put it without any postposition, and of course, you can put anything else which correspond to this structure. So A is B, like I am Korean, I'm a teacher. So, and for to say your nationality, it's much easier than in English, I think. You can just put the word 사람 or 인 right after the name of your country. So to say Korean, so people from Korea, you're going to say 한국 사람. If you're from England, for example, you're going to say 영국 사람 or 영국인. Same for the other countries. 프랑스 사람, a French person, someone from France. Spain 사람, Spanish. 독일인, German. 네덜란드인, a Dutch person, and so on. If your country hasn't been mentioned here, you can go search its name. Some of them have same name as it is called in English, but not all of them, so it's always better to check. And for your profession or job, you can directly put the word as we have done with your name, so you don't need any word like in or 사람. That's only for the nationalities. So I'm gonna say 저는 선생님입니다. I am a teacher. So 선생님 is the part of the teacher. Or I could also say 저는 대학생입니다. I'm an undergraduate. So 대학생 is undergraduate, like bachelor student. And for the most of office jobs, you can use the word 회사원, which literally means an office or company worker. So if you're working for a certain company, get paid regularly, and do some office jobs, you can simply call yourself a 회사원. Okay. Last but not least, number 4. The last part of this structure is the verb, so to be, 이다. This might be a little bit confusing because in English we always put the subject first, verb, and then the other elements after that. But here in Korean we start the sentence with the subject, you put anything else in the between, and you finish the sentence with the verb. So remember, verb always goes to the end of the sentence. So here is the verb to be. So the infinitive is 이다, but we have to conjugate it based on to whom you're speaking. So if you're speaking formally, you get to finish your sentence with 입니다. Here you have b ending, but it sounds more like 입니다 to make it easier to pronounce. So like I said earlier, I'd say 저는 민입니다. I'm Min. Or 저는 선생님입니다. I'm a teacher. Or if it's a rather casual situation, but you still want to be polite enough, so when you're talking to someone that you don't know really well or someone who's older than yourself, you get to use the second form, the polite form, 이에요 or 예요. And 이에요 follows consonant ending words, and 예요 comes with vowel ending words. So it depends on the previous syllable that you have right before it. So these are two same words. Even their pronunciation is very similar, almost same, but when you do writing, it's clearly different. So it's important to see the differences between these two words. For example, when I'm saying I'm Korean, 저는 한국 사람이에요, because the word 한국 사람, 사람, the last syllable is 미음, m sound, which is a consonant, so you get to put 이에요. However, if I say John is a singer, I'm gonna say John은 가수예요, because the word 가수, singer, has no final consonant sound, but it just ends with a vowel, so you're gonna say 가수예요. And the last form is informal. So when you're informally speaking, so to your friend, your family, or someone that you know very well, or someone who's clearly much younger than yourself, you can put 이야 or 야. So same here. 이야 is for consonant ending and 야 for vowel endings. For example, 나는 화가야. I'm a painter. And here I put 야 because the word painter, 화가, has a vowel ending. And 우리 엄마는 미국 사람이야. My mom is American. My mom is US citizen, which is not true. But yeah, here you gotta put 이야 because the word 사람, again, it has consonant ending, so you gotta put 이야 but not 미국 사람이야. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. To summarize a little bit, we have seen 4 things today: the subject, subjective postpositions, and how to say your nationality and positions, jobs, professions, and lastly the verb 이다, which is the most important thing of the day. And if you put them together, you'd have sentences like 저는 민입니다. I am min. That's formal sentence. 저는 선생님이에요. I'm a teacher. It's either polite but not as formal. And 나는 한국 사람이야. I'm Korean, and it's rather informal, casual way of speaking. So try to put your own name, job, and nationality, and also try to make them in another politeness level, and make some more sentences to introduce your family members or friends. You can show me the sentences that you made through the comment down below or through Instagram Learn Korean with Min. I'll go correct them as soon as possible. And also, don't hesitate to leave a comment if you have any question. Let me know if you like this video or if you have any suggestion. They're always welcome. And yeah, I'll get back with chapter 4 next time. Thanks for watching this video and have a nice day, guys. 오늘도 비디오 봐주셔서 감사하고요. 다음 주에 만나요. 안녕. Bye.